Sup guys, it's HK here, bringing you a review on today's Bleach Chapter 659, was it? Yeah? Well, I forgot to do last week's chapter because I didn't even know there was a chapter out. The following few weeks were a bit very slow, and I kept thinking that maybe there weren't going to be any more mangas being released on the sites, so, surprise for me when I ended up stumbling across, I'm like, oh, okay, a bit late I know, but I could have done it, but at that time I just felt, nah, screw it, I'll do next week's one, so here we go. Again, I kind of missed the deadline. I keep thinking these are going to come out on Saturdays now, or Sundays, so, it's obviously going to be stuck to the original date on Thursday, so, thank God for that. Anyway, I want to quickly talk about last week's chapter, just very quickly. I am loving Askin. That dude is a badass. When he first appeared, he was like a very trollish character, but now he's proven himself. He's a very unpredictable, very badass character. And URYUU's brother is an idiot, a big, massive idiot. He got owned, basically. He got owned, and it was justified, really. Being a cocky little shit like that, and giving him the freaking immortality ability, really. I mean, at this point, yeah, he's Askin's immortal. Now, the ratio figure's not gonna fucking kill him now, is he? So, well done, URYUU's brother. Well done. What's his name again? URYUU or something? I don't care. I mean, last chapter he proved to be a badass when he did that little killy kick thing, the week before. But then last week he just proved himself to be a cocky little shit, and it bit him in the ass. And now him and URYUU are gonna be screwed. So. Well done, little bro. Well done. So this is why you shouldn't have siblings, man. They always screw you over, even if it's unintentional. Theory on what's gonna happen with Askin and them lot. I had a theory that HITSUGAYU was gonna appear during the miracle fight, and that's exactly what happened last chapter. He appeared in all his glory and is in this chapter at the beginning taking on the miracle. But yeah, I'm making another prediction here. I've been saying for a while now that Grimmjow is probably gonna come in and save the freaking day and fight Askin, and I think that's exactly what should happen. I've also got a theory on how Askin's probably going to get taken out. But first, let's talk about Grimmjow and where he is. He was poisoned last time we saw him, so he's technically dying at this point. But there's one character who can actually save him from being poisoned, possibly, and that's Nillian. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Imagine that hot, sexy body just vomiting all over Grimmjow's beautiful face. Imagine that for a second. Pretty disgusting, isn't it? Yeah. So that's one thing that's going to happen. She's going to heal Grimmjow, and the two of them are going to come in and back up URYUU, and they're going to take on Askin. And Askin, being the death dealer that he is, the big overdosey guy that he is, he's probably going to, because we know that hollows are deadly to Quincy's, right? So I'm thinking that maybe Grimmjow or Nillian or whatever, if they do appear, they're going to do something where they're going to transfer, they're going to let Askin take their energy or blood or whatever, how it's going to happen. Askin's going to do that crap, and it's going to bite him in the ass because his powers are going to basically kill him because, he shouldn't be taking in hollow blood or whatever the hell you call it. And that's going to have a negative effect on him, and it's going to kill him, and that's how he's going to die. That's one thing that's going to happen. I'm hoping Askin goes out like a badass, or if he goes out like that, that would be funny as hell, because the troller is the one getting trolled, so that would be hilarious. But yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping Grimmjow and Nillian come into this fight. But back to HITSUGAYU and the miracle fight. So yeah, we get a start on that fight. Miracle introduces himself, HITSUGAYU introduces himself, Momo standing there holding Shiru, and they're looking up, enjoying the view. HITSUGAYU dodging the attacks and getting his Bai-Kai on. That's pretty much the beginning of the chapter because that's all you see of the fight, which is a bit of a bloody shame because the hype from last week, you'd expect to see something epic here, but nope. So my quick points on what's going to happen with the miracle fight. I'm thinking Momo is probably going to play some sort of role because her and Toshiru are very close, and Momo has not had a moment to shine at all. Like, she keeps getting her ass handed to her, and I think it's time that she gets off her ass and actually proves how powerful she's become at this point. And also Rangiku, we don't see where Rangiku is, so I've got a theories on that. She's probably either sitting away in the sidelines taking care of the injured, or she's waiting in the sidelines waiting to be called upon because maybe Toshiru's got a plan on how to beat the miracle, or she's actually gone to save URYUU, in which case she's going to be taking on Askin maybe. Well, I don't know, but yeah, that's just another of my predictions where I think the fight's going to go. It's a nice way that we got two-way fights now with Askin and Miracle, but we're also getting a three-way fight now, and that's the whole point of this chapter, and the whole focus of this chapter really is on URYUU, because after this a snippet of introduction to the fight, we cut to a flashback of URYUU watching his dad as a child. You know, he walks in on his dad operating on his mom, and he's like, you know, why are you doing that? You know, mom's dead, you can't save her anymore. And we cut to another flashback of him older with Ichigo at school, with Ichigo asking him what he's doing at, what he's doing at a school like this, why he's, you know, if he, you know, he's the son of a doctor, why doesn't he become a doctor? And URYUU explaining that he doesn't want to become a doctor anymore. And the flashback, basically from his childhood, tied into that flashback and explaining, you know, giving us the reason why he never wanted to become a doctor, because he was traumatized and scarred by what his dad was doing to his mother's corpse. You know, the idea that you know, a doctor would, you know, mutilate the one he loved, like, you know, that for him that's just, you know, a big no, and that's one of the reasons why he didn't pursue a career in medicine, sadly. We cut to URYUU, you know, walking into the palace, I think, and Hushwald standing there waiting for him, you know, and explaining that Johann Buck is asleep now, so therefore his powers have transferred to him because he's the one awake and he can see the future. And he basically calls out on URYUU being a traitor, and URYUU is surprised by this. He gets a bit shocked, you know, a bit, you know, he seems a bit ready, like he's anticipating this. And then Voshwald mentions these chips, these URYUU chips or whatever, that he's been throwing around the entire palace, entire area. And they're basically similar to the power glove that URYUU wore during the first arc. And yeah, you know, Hushwald's a bit confused as to why he's doing that. So I have no idea how these gloves work. I presume, because again, these are meant to be the same material from the glove that belonged to his grandfather, so, and that absorbed a ratio of all types, didn't it? So I'm wondering, because the Quincy's, they use ratio to get stronger, right? I'm wondering if URYUU's been throwing these chips around the palace in order to weaken the Quincy's, so that way they won't be able to gather ratio to themselves. So the chips make it a bit more difficult because all the ratio's going to those chips instead. So I'm wondering that's what's going on. And you know, URYUU pretty much like tells it as is, you know, saying, oh, you know, you suspect me of being a traitor, and Hushwald being, I didn't say I suspected you of being a traitor, but you know, thanks for saying that word, and you know, I'm gonna put this to the test. I'm gonna put you to the test. You know, he's gonna test him to see if he really is a traitor, and he just goes fucking crazy and attacks him. And URYUU's like, wait, don't, like, you know, he's panicking a bit. Maybe he's not being a traitor. Maybe he's no. URYUU's definitely up to something. He's definitely planning to stab Johann Buck in the back. Like, he's trying to come up with his own way of doing that. But the way he's like shouting for Hushwald to stop, maybe it's because he doesn't want to hurt him, and I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But it's what happens at the end that's surprising, because he gets pushed out of a wall, or he dodges the attack and the attack comes out of the wall. And next to him is, yeah, you know, URYUU facing Hushwald. He turns his head, and right there next to him is Ichigo standing there. And it's like, whoa, you know, Ichigo, Ishida, URYUU, Kurosaki. So yeah, we got, yeah, that was very quick actually. I mean the last chapter before that, you had Ichigo and Orihime and Chad running off to get to the palace, and you think it would take more of a journey, but no, they've basically arrived, and now we got this third battle now taking place. The big question, however, is it going to be with, you know, between Ichigo and URYUU, or URYUU and Ichigo going to team up and take on Hushwald? Because the only way they're going to beat Johann Buck is if they beat Hushwald first, because he's kind of the first form, you know, since he's got this, you know, he's got the same sort of powers, so they would have to take him out first before they can go on and get to Johann Buck. Or maybe URYUU's going to use this opportunity to prove his loyalty, and he's going to attack Ichigo, in which case we're going to get a URYUU versus Ichigo fight, or a Hushwald versus URYUU fight, you know, and URYUU versus Ichigo fight. You know, it could go in any direction at the moment. That's the thing with this chapter ending on. It's a bit ambiguous, really. Like, you know, you know, we have to wait till next week to find out how this is going to go. And yeah, I'm surprised with the momentum these chapters are going in right now. So we got three-way fights. We got Asken taking on Yoruichi and her brother, and maybe or maybe not Grimmjow and Lillian are going to come in and save the day. We got Toshiru taking on the Miracle. We got Momo, Shinru, and a bunch of, you know, we don't know where the hell Byaku are and what's his name, Ranji are. So they, you know, they're probably in the rubble or hiding. Oh yeah, I forgot the Vizards, man. They got freaking owned last chapter. Like, they come in acting like badasses, and they got their asses kicked like no tomorrow. Like, what a bloody shame, man. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this is all gonna go. A lot of people are probably gonna be presuming that this manga is gonna end on chapter 700. I'm gonna tell you right now, that will not happen, for the simple fact that Kubo himself said that this arc, this final arc, would be as long as the Unranka arc. And so far, you know, if he wants to hit that milestone, if he wants it to be as long as that, it would have to be around 720 or 730 chapters. But he said this arc would be longer than that, so I'm predicting 750 chapters maybe. Or maybe, you know, if he's lucky, it'll hit 800 chapters. But then that would mean this shit would go on for another 3 years, and I don't see that happening. I see Bleach ending, you know, early or middle of next year. Not this year, but next year for sure, definitely. But you know, again, we'll have to wait and see. So far, we're pretty much at the end, I think, at the final now, because everyone's taken on an elite now. So once these guys are done, we're gonna get the big fight with Johann Buck. So it all depends on how the fights go now. You know, Askin is gonna properly fall in battle as the Miracle, but it's Hoshwold I'm a bit worried about. I mean, how's that fight gonna go? You know, depending on what happens, you know, URYUU, is he gonna attack Ichigo, or is it gonna be them two taking on? Then at least that way we got a good idea how fast this story is gonna progress. But if it's the other way around, then it's gonna be a bit more longer till we get to the final battle. I want to see Aizen getting out of that bloody chair already and maybe helping out and then betraying them. I don't know, I just want to see Askin, man. Not, sorry, Aizen, Askin. Those two really look similar. I wonder if they're twin brothers. Joking about that. Anyway, guys, forget all that crap and just do the following. Like, subscribe, whatever. I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye.